Are you settling for less than you deserve because you've gotten used to the status quo? This Thursday, I spent 4 hours hooked up to a drip, getting an IV infusion of vitamins, minerals, and mostly iron. It all started with a frantic call last week from the IV clinic, Sister Karen saying to me, "Oh my goodness, Chantel, are you okay?" I was a little confused at her alarm. I said, "Yes, I'm fine." She said, "Well, we got your blood results back and your iron is so low, you need to come in as soon as possible and get this fixed." I don't think I've ever experienced anemia before, so I didn't notice the signs. But as I was sitting in the doctor's rooms, the doctor said to me, "How can you possibly say you're feeling okay? Here are some of the symptoms that you should be experiencing with ferritin levels this low. Normal for you is around 113, and you're sitting at 5. And just to be clear, you can't get to 0. So if you have iron levels this depleted, then you should be experiencing extreme exhaustion, like really intense tiredness. You should have brittle nails that are breaking off. Maybe you even have hair loss, your hair is dry. Perhaps you're having some aches in your legs especially, but in other parts of your body too. Headaches should be part of that. Overall, you should be feeling pretty run down." And I said to him, "Well, yeah, I guess I am experiencing all of those things." He shook his head and said to me, "It is amazing to me what people can get used to." And that was quite a mind-blowing observation for me in the moment and since. So this week, I want to share 3 things that I learned in the past week, and before that, if I'm honest. The first time I heard the analogy about the frog was in Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth. Put a frog in a pot of boiling water, chuck the poor guy in there, he's going to jump out immediately because he'll get burned. But if you put him in cold water and gradually turn up the heat, he's likely to stay there until it's too late. In the first video I ever recorded, I spoke about knowing the signs, but it seems that I'm not really that great at listening to the signs that my body gives me. I had gotten used over time to being tired and to being kind of run down, and I put it down to stress and the fact that I sometimes don't get enough sleep. But what this doctor was telling me is that this is a potentially life-threatening condition that you are going to continue pushing through and just adjusting your calendar to accommodate, and you needed to get it addressed. Don't get used to a quality of life that is less than you deserve because you've been able to rise to the challenge of living it. It isn't heroic, nor do you get any rewards for settling for less than you can have. And that's something that I'm working on. Which takes me to my second point, something that I learned about in a training session. Something that was mentioned by the facilitator in that session was a concept called habit stacking. In the links to this video, I will add a little snippet about a book that I discovered that talks about really good habits by James Clear. And what my doctor, who is really great and is very much like a coach, was essentially saying to me is, clearly what you're doing is not working for you. So let's talk about what your actual routine is and see how you can make it work. That tied really, the universe was in alignment. It tied beautifully into the session that I experienced. The facilitator was talking about habit stacking. The concept goes, rather than trying to develop an entirely new set of ways of doing things, which you're unlikely to be able to sustain, find something you're already doing and kind of just stack on top of that. So in my case, something that I do every night before I go to bed is pack away my laptop and get my stuff ready for the day ahead. And he was saying, add your supplementation into that routine. So put it on top of your charger box, for example, so that when you go to get that and put it in your bag, it's there, you've got to pick it up. And then the best place to put it is probably your mouth. So habit stacking means incorporating something new into an existing habit. It makes it easier for you to gain momentum. The final point is one I was reminded of in a previous doctor's visit about a year ago, when the doc then told me, the most successful patient is not the one who is the most well-researched or knows everything or asks all the best questions. They're the person who's the most compliant. And that's something that I thought about as I was thinking about the routine and all of the arguments I had. Because one of the reasons I wasn't taking my supplementation consistently is that I've done a lot of reading around how well your body can absorb different nutrients and minerals. And I had a kind of disparaging view of vitamin supplementation to begin with because, according to Google, you get the point. In this instance, my failing to adhere to that had got me to a really bad place. And I didn't even know how bad it was. So the final point is, if you don't know how to get out of where you are, don't argue. Follow the advice of someone who does. Because if you knew how to do it on your own, you probably wouldn't be there, right? So this week, friends, if you find yourself in any area of your life feeling like, maybe I'm not actually getting the most I could out of this, maybe I'm really settling for less than I deserve, then ask yourself, am I being a frog? Is the heat turning up around me and I'm failing to notice the signs? until I'm too weak to jump. Take stock of what it is you think you should feel like, what it is you know you deserve, and then make the little shifts to get there. Habit stacking can help you do that. Add something positive onto your routine that will address the things that you're trying to shift. And if you don't know how to do it on your own and you get some good advice from someone who does, just listen, even if you know a lot about the topic. I hope that you found this helpful and that you're listening to yourself and taking care of your needs. I will have a new video out for you next week, so if you enjoyed this one, please make sure that you share it, click like, comment, let me know what you think, and stay safe. See you soon. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget about the virtual video workshop coming up at the end of April. If you haven't signed up yet and you want to know how to make videos of your own using just your cell phone, then now's the time to do it. Hope I see you there.